Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Lisa Smith and thank you for joining me today for today's lesson. This lesson is going to be based on operant conditioning, so let's get started. Operant conditioning is usually called consequences, where we're looking at associations, everyday associations that we use to learn. Operant conditioning is part of learning because they call it conditioning because it is a permanent change in behavior. A stimulus leads to a response, and we use associations with information and behaviors. So most people experience this basic form of learning. And when we learn with it, we are either going to learn certain consequences. We're either going to be rewarded or we are going to be punished. So let's talk specifically about the consequences of our behaviors. One of our well-known fathers of educational psychology is Edward Thorndike. And Edward Thorndike came up with the law of effect. The law of effect clearly states that behavior that is followed by pleasant consequences, like a reward, is likely to be repeated. And a behavior that is followed by unpleasant consequences, like punishment, is less likely to be repeated. Now, using Thorndike's law of effect, B.F. Skinner created the reinforcement schedule. And here he looked at certain types of reinforcers. We call him the father of operant conditioning simply because he used humans, he used animals, he used rats, he used cats, he used pigeons. He taught them how to decipher between Manet and Monet, well-known artists, but he also taught them how to play ping pong. And he used the law of effect either continuously or partially, what we call intermittent reinforcer. So just like Thorndike, if it is a pleasant consequence, repetitious behavior. If it isn't and it's a punishment, we see a decrease in that behavior. And with that, we came up with strengthening the behavior and the different types of reinforcers. Now, a primary reinforcer is something that fulfills a biological need: love, praise, food, water, drink, shelter. And then if we associate that with a secondary reinforcer like money or clothing, then we can reward behavior in that way. But we also go further. Skinner goes even further with reinforcers. He looked at what we call positive reinforcers. Anytime you see positive, you're going to add something to strengthen the behavior. If you see a negative, you're going to subtract something that will strengthen the behavior. For example, when you see these kids whining in the stores and throwing themselves out, and the mother provides a toy or a candy, that child is positively reinforced. That child is given, that mother is adding something, and that behavior we will see again in another store because she gave her child exactly what he or she wanted. However, we can always also use a negative reinforcer, which will also strengthen behavior. So in that exact same scenario, mom was negatively reinforced because she subtracted the aversive stimuli of whining by adding that candy. So she took away that whining only for a brief moment, until the next time a child sees something they want, but she took away that stimulus, so it strengthens the behavior, and she's going to continue to give candy or toys because it gets rid of the whining. You understand? Negative reinforcers as well as positive reinforcers will increase or strengthen behavior. So that's Thorndike and Skinner's methodology for reinforcers. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.